Welcome back, everybody, to For the Sake of the Parlay. Today is April 19th, 2026, and what we're going to do today is review yesterday's Parlay of the Day and also give you today's Parlay of the Day with alternate line suggestion. First of all, let me tell you why you should subscribe today. First of all, I am a PPC. Not what you're thinking, get your mind out of the gutter, but a PPC. A PPC is a professional parlay creator, all right? And I've been creating parlays professionally since January, but I decided to create this channel for the people so you can go on this journey with us, because this is a journey and anybody who tells you they win consistently is lying like hell. Secondly, this is a collaborative channel. We are lucky to have two PPCs working on this channel. We obviously have the voice and the architect. Obviously, I am the voice, but the architect is really the one doing a lot of the planning, designing, and managing throughout the parlay making process. Without the architect, there would be no channel and none of these parlays would be made. Lastly, we are providing you daily content with picks and the receipts. We are 13 days strong of showing you our plays we made for this channel and giving you the results. I really appreciate each and every one of you for checking out our channel, and we are going to continue to keep giving you this good daily content and parlays each day. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the video. Do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button and do it for the sake of the parlay. So we're going to start off by reviewing yesterday's parlay of the day. It was a mix of everything across multiple sports, including some money lines, prop bets, and a puck line bet. This parlay got done early, unfortunately, and you always hate that because you want your parlay green until the last bet on your ticket, but this most definitely did not happen last night. We wound up going 3 out of 8 picks, and today in this review I'm going to add more analysis and suggestions as we go over the picks from yesterday, continue improving making these parlays. First, we're going to talk about our prop bet of taking Mitchell Robinson of the New York Knicks to get at least 7+ rebounds against Atlanta Hawks. Prior to this bet, I was confident, as I am always with my bets, but I thought for sure he would clear 7 rebounds easily, but I was definitely wrong. Mitchell Robinson had 4 rebounds in 9 minutes of playing in the first half. That's literally 1 rebound every 2 minutes. So we are definitely feeling good about this bet, but he will wind up only playing 6 more minutes of the entire game. He ended the game with scoring 3 points and only the same 4 rebounds after the end of the first half. As you can see here, he had the second least minutes out of all the Knicks players. They only played 9 players, and apparently Robinson was the second least needed in the whole game. This doesn't surprise me, though. I knew Robinson was a bench player. Also, this was the first game of the playoff series. The rotations and playing time have tightened up. Every game is being played to win, and starters are only coming out of the game for rest if they are injured or in other situations like blowouts. I'll keep that in the bank for future bet. Next, we're going to talk about Jasmine Jusevicius versus Karine Silva. This was a ranked women's flyweight match, with Jasmine being ranked 7th and Silva being ranked 9th. We took Jasmine on the money line as a -325 favorite, and she will wound up winning for us, but she won a 29-28 split decision. This doesn't get any closer than that. This mainly was a grappling match, and the judges barely gave her the win. As a side note, Karine Silva has killer tattooed on her neck in English, even though she's Brazilian, so that's wild. And she went for many submission attempts, and they were not successful. A couple things I want to note for future bets with Jasmine and future women's MMA bets is in general. Jasmine was a -325 favorite, and she won only by a 29-28 split decision. It doesn't get any closer than that, literally. Also, in her speech after the fight, she said she didn't take too many risks because she wanted to win. Like I said, she got knocked out in the first round in her last fight, so I kind of understand this, but this is not something I want to hear my -325 fighter saying after her fight. I'll be looking to fade Jasmine in her next fight, depending on her matchup, and let her go up against somebody who really has hands like Furiat last fight, and she will get KO'd again. Also, women's KOs and submissions are some of my favorite moments in the UFC because they are so rare. 63% of women's fights go to decision. Next time I might be a better to consider a prop decision for someone like this in this matchup. Also, there were props that you could have taken even on Karine Silva's side, like a points prop, and you still could have won money. Next, we were wrong about Chris Sale of the Atlanta Braves having more strikeouts than Chris Sanchez of the Philadelphia Phillies. It happened to be the exact opposite. Sanchez had 8 strikeouts and Sale had 7 strikeouts. So as far as our bet, we lost because I based my decision solely. Sanchez overperformed his strikeout prop of 6.5 with 8 strikeouts, and Sale underperformed his strikeout total of 7.5 by only having 7 strikeouts. As you can see here, even though Sanchez had more strikeouts, Sale still won the game. What is very interesting is that this was the quintessential pitcher's duel, and the only scores in the game happened early. Very simply put, Chris Sale gave up 1 home run because he's a classic fly ball pitcher. Sanchez did not give up any home runs. He gave up base hits that led to runs when runners were already on base because he is a quintessential ground ball pitcher. Now let's take a look at the difference between fly ball pitchers and ground ball pitchers. Fly ball pitchers, these pitchers attack high in the zone and rely more rise/ride and sharp breaking pitches. Common pitches include the four-seam fastball, curveball, slider, and a splitter. And what they're doing is they're working up in the zone, and they really rely on swings and misses, from pitchers trying to knock their pitches out of the park. And a good example of this are Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander, and also Chris Sale. Ground ball pitchers, these guys live low in the zone and rely mostly on downward movement. Their pitchers include sinkers, cutters, and changeups. And what they're doing, they're trying to keep the ball low in the zone, and they like to create weak contact, which leads to a lot of ground balls. And a good example of this is Chris Sanchez from yesterday. Next, we took the fight with start round 3 in the Mike Malott versus Gilbert Burns main event in the UFC. So the fight definitely started round 3, but it did not finish round 3. Malott looked dominant the whole fight, and Burns was wobbling and bloodied up at the end of the second. But luckily the fight started the third, and our bet won. And Malott wound up finishing Burns with strikes in the third round. Also, after this fight, Gilbert Burns threw in the gloves after this loss. He had a good career, but this was a brutal way to go out. Next, we took a same game parlay with Rui Hachimura of the Lakers getting 20-plus points, rebounds, and assists, and the Houston Rockets to win on the money line against the Los Angeles Lakers. Unfortunately, we got an alert pick 3 hours before game time saying that Kevin Durant would miss the game with a knee injury, so that really significantly hurt our chances of winning, as Kevin Durant is the best player on Houston. The Lakers wound up winning 107-98, and Rui scored 14 points with 2 rebounds and 2 assists. So he came up 2 stat lines short of winning our bet. What is really wild is that he played 42 minutes but couldn't find a way to get either a layup or shot or another rebound or assist in 42 minutes. He's traditionally a player that comes off the bench, but he's seen a bump in minutes due to Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves being out with injury. Even with his bump in minutes, it seems like he's stuck in his role player mentality and won't be reliable for props going forward, just like Mitchell Robinson. Once a bench player, always a bench player. Next, we took the Dodgers to win on the money line against the Colorado Rockies at Coors Field. The Dodgers lost 4-3. The Dodgers were close to minus 300 favorites on the money line, so they were a staple of our parlay. But upsets happen every day, and it was only a one-run game. The Dodgers are back-to-back World Series champions, and I expect the Dodgers to bounce back in their next game today, where they're about the same amount of favors as minus 300 against the Rockies. Lastly, we picked the Philadelphia Flyers on the 1.5 plus puck line. They won outright. I want to remind everybody that I had a reliable source say take Philadelphia on the money line. However, for the sake of the parlay, we took them on the puck line at plus 1.5 because giving ourselves another outcome for our bet. Philadelphia wound up winning this game 3-2, which is really good. But based off the score and how the game went, Philadelphia could have easily lost 2-3. However, since we took them on the puck line, we still won our bet. Dan Villar of the Flyers had a better game than his opposing goalie, Stuart Skinner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Villar stopped 15 out of 17 shots for a save percentage of 88%, while Skinner of the Penguins only stopped 17 out of 20 shots for a save percentage of 85%, and that was the difference in this game, which I discussed in the video yesterday. This bet was based on Philadelphia having a more reliable goaltending and a younger team. Okay, here's what you've all been waiting for. Here's today's parlay of the day for April 19th, 2026. First of all, we're going to start off by taking the Montreal Canadiens on the puck line at plus 1.5 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Then we're going to take the under 6.5 and the Utah Mammoth versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Then we're going to take the over 7 and the Detroit Tigers versus Boston Red Sox. Also, we're going to take the Colorado Avalanche to win on the money line against the Los Angeles Kings. Then we're going to take 2 same game parlays. The first one being Julian Champagny to make 2+3s. In that same game, we're going to take Drew Holiday to get 12 or more points. And then next in the same game parlay, we're going to take Desmond Bain to get 20+ points and Jalen Suggs to record 4+ rebounds. Alright, let's start off by talking about why the Montreal Canadiens on the puck line at plus 1.5 is a good bet. The Canadiens are a tough hockey team, and I'm predicting it will be a close game. This is like the Philadelphia Flyers game yesterday, and I think there's value in the underdog here. Tampa Bay is good, but they're not elite as they used to be. Also, per my action report from actionnetwork.com, I see 60% of the bets are on Tampa Bay, and 69% of the money is on Montreal. All this means is that indicates sharp movement, aka bigger bets by professional bettors that are betting on Montreal. Next, we are taking the under 6.5 in the Utah Mammoth versus Vegas Golden Knights. One good reason to take this under alone is that Vegas's defense is elite. They have one of the best defenses in the regular season in the NHL this year. They specialize in limiting high danger shots, which are shots that are around the goalie. This is going to be the first game of the series too, which is going to be each team filling each other out, and also both teams will be starting their best goalies. All these factors combined make the under 6.5 a really good bet. Next, we are taking the over 7 in the Detroit Tigers versus Boston Red Sox game. If you are following this channel, you know that we took Garrett Crochet on a prop bet of over 7.5 strikeouts against the Twins on Monday. He completely let us down, and not only did he not record any strikeouts, he gave up 10 runs, which is crazy. And the Red Sox wound up losing 13-5. We were thinking about taking his under 7.5 strikeouts, but I decided not to. Also, Framber Valdez is coming off a very strong outing on Tuesday, in which he pitched for 7 innings and only gave up 1 earned run, 4 hits, and 1 strikeout. As a side note, Valdez is another perfect example of a ground ball pitcher, which means he might not give up many home runs, but he will load the bases very often. Also, 7 runs is extremely low for an MLB game, and I think all the factors that I previously mentioned is a good combination for this game to go over 7. If Garrett Crochet comes out here and pitches lights out and records a whole bunch of strikeouts, I'm going to call the FBI my goddamn self, because he needs to be in handcuffs. If that would make 0 sense, since he gave up 10 runs in his last appearance, and then comes out here and pitches lights out in the next one, all Cash Patel needs to do is watch my YouTube channel for the evidence, okay? We are out here really gambling on him, so stay tuned for an interesting game, and I'm curious to see how this plays out. Next, we're taking the Colorado Avalanche versus the Los Angeles Kings. We're going to take the Avalanche on the money line. I'm going to do exactly what I did yesterday with one of our hockey picks. I read free articles on the Action Network, which is a gambling website where you can track your bets and get free gambling analysis. Here you have, at the end of this bet, it recommends taking Colorado on the puck line at minus 1.5. Here, for the sake of the parlay, we are all about making great picks for your parlay. Minus 1.5 sounds great if you want some juice and are really confident in a Colorado blowout win, but a safer pick would be taking Colorado on the money line. It could very well be a close game, as it is the first game of the series. We also did this yesterday with our Flyers pick. Colorado could blow out the Los Angeles Kings, but regardless, taking them on the money line is a better pick than taking them on the minus 1.5 puck line, especially after Colorado's last game only winning 2-0. Anything can happen, but I still like Colorado to win on the money line. Next, we are taking Desmond Bane to get 20 plus points and Jalen Suggs to get 4 plus rebounds for the Orlando Magic versus the Detroit Pistons. This game should be more competitive, as the Magic are playing the best team in the East and the Detroit Pistons, and now they just blew out the Charlotte Hornets. Bane is still on the list. You might be asking, what is the list? It's just a list. Bane is still on the list until he isn't anymore. I expect him to bounce back and be very aggressive and score 20 plus points. Jalen Suggs is an athletic guard that isn't afraid to go in the paint and grab a rebound. He had 5 rebounds in his last game against Charlotte, and he should be able to get at least 4 today against the Pistons. Next, in the same game parlay, we're going to take Julian Champagny of the Spurs to record 2 plus 3-pointers, and Drew Holiday for the Portland Trailblazers to record 12 plus points. So first of all, I like Champagny as a starter. He's a 3-and-D type of player. Also, he holds the record for the most threes in a game in Spurs history with 11. So I really like him to get at least 2 3-pointers in this first playoff game against the Trailblazers. Next, Drew Holiday is a seasoned veteran. He's a gritty player that is the heart and soul of this Trailblazers team. Drew averaged 16 points per game during the regular season, and I expect him to be very aggressive and play very hard against the Spurs as they are the underdogs. Here are the alternate line suggestions for today. First, we're going to take the under 7.5 in the Utah versus Golden Knights game. And like I said, I'm expecting this to be a close defensive game. And Vegas had one of the best defenses all year, and they're starting their best goalies today. So all this is a good combination for the under. And we took under 6.5 in our parlay, but we're all recommending an alternate line of 7.5, which will give yourself another goal, an extra cushion. Next, we're going to take Bane to get at least 15 points, okay? I really think that Bane will get 20 points, so getting 15 points is an even better bet just in case something happens in which he doesn't get at least 20, okay? I like Bane, and like I said, Bane is on the list until he isn't anymore. I'm fully expecting him to come through today. And lastly, we're going to take the over 5.5 and the Detroit-Boston game. I really like this game to go over anyway. Garrett Crochet is coming off one of the worst games in his career. Framber Valdez is a ground ball pitcher. He doesn't induce a lot of fly balls, but a lot of people are going to get on base off of weak contact. So that means that, hey, this is a great combination for over, but just in case that over 7 doesn't hit, this over 5.5 could literally save your parlay, all right? And that's why you want to put it in your parlay if you can get a better number, all right? Because these Vegas posted lines, that's what we're usually working with, and we do research behind that. But if you can get a better number and better odds leaning one way or another, that can really make the parlay, that can make your day. Thank you for watching the video. We'll be back tomorrow with another parlay of the day. And just remember, winners never quit. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and one good parlay will make your day. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow with another video and another parlay of the day.